Rob?
Hello everyone. First of all, long time no see. Welcome to Rob's Rogues. And today we're taking a look at sticker. We're taking a look at sticker. Of course, we are taking a look at DC Comics Multiverse. This is DC something. This is a DC Rebirth Batman with the rookie Collect and Connect wave. If you don't know where I got this from, the sticker maybe should give it away. I got this from Walmart online. My little revolving table is too far back. So they put their stupid unit label on the package. Now, if I was a inbox collector, I would be very, very peeved, because this sticker is going to rip the package. So anybody out there, mitten box collectors, if you buy it online, this is going to cheese you off. I wish they would not put the sticker on the box. I'm sure, I work at a distribution warehouse, I'm sure they pull it off, they put the sticker on the label, and they send it down the conveyor belt, and as it's traveling, the barcode gets scanned, it goes out to the store, because they think most people are going to take the product, the lawnmower, the weed whacker, the Batman, out of the package, and not really care about the package. I, for one, am not a mint-on-box collector. These figures aren't going to be worth something that you're going to be able to sell, and your kids or your great-grandkids, like, oh, you've got a perfect figure in box. Those aren't going to be these type of figures. Even though people try to sell them that way on eBay, they won't be. But neither here nor there. That's a discussion for a later time. So just be advised that if you want this just for the figure, then it's probably not going to matter that much to you. But if you are somebody that wants to put these on your wall and display the boxes and the figures all nice and neat in the box, which with the Collect and Connect, I don't know why you would, because you want to put the Collect and Connect together. But anyway, it's going to have the sticker. So we're looking at the now familiar Multiverse package. We have Batman down here, done by Jim Lee, and this is the question I always ask: is Batman blue and gray, or is he black and gray? Is Batman's belt all black, or is it black with yellow outlines? Is it black with yellow outlines and with the black center button, or is the center button yellow? So right off the bat, the belt is completely wrong as far as the coloring goes. So this guy will probably recolor the belt correctly. That's just me. We'll see if I do it or not. They've gone with the black and gray here, which I think traditionally in Rebirth that's how he is, but depending on who's coloring him will make him blue and gray. I'm fine with the blue and gray. So yes, this is for Rebirth, and you can see a better shot here. You really can't read much here because of the stupid sticker. Let's see if I can get the sticker off. If I was a mint inbox collector, can I pull this off and not tear the package? There we go. So I got it off. That's what she said. So I can't get it off my hands. That's what she said. I'm so sorry. See what happens when I'm away from reviewing for a while. But we do have the sticky residue here, so you could clean this off. Even just with rubbing it, it's kind of coming off here. So it could be clean. So there's Batman Rebirth written in different languages there. And Collect and Connect is Rookie. If you don't know what the Rookie is, it's the robot bunny suit. Batman, Jim Gordon, which if you have the other Jim Gordon, I do know that the head comes off of Robot Bunny Batman here, and you could take off the Jim Gordon Batman head and put that Jim Gordon Batman head here, or the unmasked version of Jim Gordon and put that on here as well. So I like that Mattel did go through and have that forethought to do this. The other figures that are in this wave, this is a pretty cool wave. We've got Rebirth Batman, the Reaper, which this is going to be one that a lot of people are wanting. I was wanting to get the Reaper. I saw this whole entire wave online. I didn't have enough money for all of them, which is why I only bought one. And I really wanted this Batman. I really wanted the Reaper. Although some would say, Rob, you should have got the Reaper first because you're going to be able to find Batman anywhere. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, if I can only get one, I wanted Batman. Reaper's a second. They're calling Duke Thomas Robin, even though he's technically not Robin. He's a We Are Robin, but yeah, I guess he's a Robin. Anyway, Duke Thomas gets a figure here, or now he is known as The Signal, if you're reading All-Star Batman. Batwing, this is going to be a cool figure. So these first four, I would definitely want. Then we have the Atom from the Arrowverse TV series. So if you've been collecting that, to me, the Atom seems like the what the hell figure in this wave, which I know they throw some of the TV stuff in here. I would have saved him for another wave, or given me another Dark Knight Returns figure in here to at least keep them comic book accurate. I have no desire to... This is one version of Batman I did not care for. Robot Bunny Suit, Gordon, Batman, no, didn't like it. So these, if I were to get all four of these, I'm going to have 4 collect and connect pieces that I do not want. So I imagine at some point it's going to be like, hey, I have these figures and I'm wanting to trade for other collect and connect pieces that I can't get. So we'll have more on that later. So don't ask in this video, hey, can I have the leg for this piece? Because I'm going to tell you no, unless you have something I want that's collect and connect oriented, like Clayface down the line. So anyway, enough rambling here. It's good to be back behind the review camera again, and this is going to start my series off, and we'll be going backwards and then back forward, moving forward through the Mattel line. I'll give my thoughts at the very end of what I think about Mattel and what they're doing now. So I've been doing a lot of this, but hey, I've been gone for a little bit. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. In all my talking and all of my rambling, I didn't read the side panel once I got the sticker off. So I believe that this was written for All-Star Batman, written by Greg Capullo, and the first arc drawn by Romita Jr., because that's kind of what the description says here. It says, as a Dark Knight detective, Batman must protect Gotham City from the maniacal Two-Face, and it's just written in different languages here. So even though it's drawn by Jim Lee, even though Greg Capullo came up with the original design here, this Batman is based off of the Rebirth All-Star Batman story, which is exactly the same through all the Rebirth titles. So, like I was talking about the belt, watch from the different series how the belt changes depending on who's coloring the issue. So anyway, now let's get Batman out of package, and I'm going to stop doing this again. All right, I've got to say, out of the package, first impressions, I really like this figure. I really, really do. I think I said this, if you go clear back to my channel from the very beginning, it's like comparing apples to bowling balls, or oranges to bowling balls. Yes, they're both round, but they're both completely different. I'm not saying this is better than a Mayfax or this is better than a Hot Toys. If you've been buying Mattel figures, more importantly DC Universe Classics figures, this will feel very much at home. Yes, there's spots where people may want double elbows, double knees, and all that type of stuff. But for me, the things that made Mattel, and for a lot of us, and including this guy behind the camera, made me start buying 6-inch action figures to begin with. Try that again. See, I haven't done a review in a while. I'm getting all tongue-tied. The reason I started buying 6-inch action figures in the first place, that sentence wasn't even close to how I was going to say it, was Mattel, because I liked what Mattel was doing at the time. Now, I'm not saying that a company shouldn't grow and you shouldn't try to improve on what you're doing, but we kind of saw DC Collectibles do that, and they ran into some serious problems with figures breaking. Out of Mattel, I'm buying something that I know, like, this is what you do, and this is what you do well. Just don't screw it up. Don't start giving us other articulation points that are going to cause other problems that you're going to start making people mad. The problem with Mattel towards the very end of the DC Universe Classics run was they were getting lazy on shipping, they were getting lazy on the plastics they were using, and they weren't it was, pardon for the language, it was a half-ass attempt at trying to put things out. Figures were getting canceling. They were blaming, you know, there wasn't the demand for it. The prices of plastics have gone up. Well, since that time of all of that, they were still putting out figures. They just weren't putting them out in the massive quantities that they were before. I'm okay with that to the point, rather than me trying to pay top dollar to get some of these figures. Generally, they show up at Walmart and you get one case, maybe two, and that's it. Normally you could go to one Walmart and people were buying them enough. So I'm hoping that this is the first wave of them really bringing back that type of DC Universe Classics. Quality, quantity, and just not quality in the, you go to the store and you find 10 Batmans there. You know, maybe put 2 in a box. You know, in every case, maybe there should just be 1 of every figure, and then maybe send stores 2 or 3 cases, maybe not 12 cases, and they're stuck eating all those figures forever. So I've done a lot of talking about kind of how I feel about Mattel to begin with. The plastic on this guy does feel nice and solid. There were a few figures, I shouldn't say way back, towards the end, where you could feel like it was hollow, brittle, like, man, they're not trying. This is Mattel. I think this personifies Mattel trying right here. This wave is trying. I'm trying to find the box again real quick. In this wave, every one of these figures either is a brand new sculpt from head to toe or has major sculpting and tooling changes done to them. Batman, the Reaper is almost a 100% complete sculpt from what I can see. Duke, I believe, is the same way. Batwing definitely is. The Atom is, and then the Rookie, the robot bunny, Commissioner Gordon. I'm going to keep calling him the bunny. So, now, like a lot of DC Universe Classics figures in the past, and I'm okay with it, it doesn't bother me, they do share a lot of the same body buck type of things. You know, yeah, they may change size a little bit, but the standard action figure size, like here are the same legs that the Rebirth or that the New 52 Batman had. That is pretty much, now this guy's a little dusty here, so I apologize about that. The boots are a brand new sculpt all the way around, even the bottom, and I'll show that in a little bit. The legs are completely the same. The panel lines are running right through here. There are the lines running through there. The creases are the same. Now the knee pads are different on the Batman figure than it was in the New 52 version. This is the matte gray version. I've got the glossy version down there. So the ab crunch area has changed a little bit too. So I would imagine most of the torso is different, just kind of the way that it's cut. So this is kind of more like the DC Superheroes top ab, which I would have to go grab that Batman. He's downstairs. Maybe I'll do that towards the tail end of the review. The gauntlets are completely different. The gauntlets kind of remind me, and I don't know if he's off camera and he's kind of leaning just a little bit here, kind of reminds me of, I am going to have to pause the camera. I was hoping he was in a close proximity to me. 1 second. This guy had to go all the way downstairs. I thought the gauntlets might have been the same. I cannot remember what this line was called. I have the Detective Batman that I probably bought 4 years ago that I haven't reviewed. It's the blue and gray version of this. So when I find it, I'll review it. But I can't remember for the life of me what this is called. And I'm talking, if you hear a big fall, it's me falling in my computer. There it is. Total Heroes. So, this line. I ended up buying this guy too. So there's Total Heroes. I forgot that line. So anyway, I thought the gauntlets might have been the same. They're a little bit bigger here. The proportions are a little bit bigger on the Total Heroes. They're kind of a little more bulkier. But I just kind of wanted a little bit for a comparison there. So at least they weren't used from the Total Heroes line. So I believe the gauntlets are brand new. I did bring up the Young Justice Batman because I thought the head might have been the Young Justice Batman head, and I'm wrong in that. So the Young Justice Batman appears to be taller. He's not, just the way that the camera is setting. That's probably closer. This Batman's head is up because he's on my shelf looking up in the air. So no reused from the Young Justice either. So I've got to say that the head sculpt on this Batman is a brand new sculpt as well. And I was pretty much positive of that once I saw the first images of these. And the other thing that I really, really like, let's move a New 52 out of the way, is the cape. The cape, I think, is very, very cool. Now, I've seen a couple other reviewers talk about, well, I'm going to cut the cape off. Everybody's wanting to give everybody cloth capes. I think cloth capes are fine for a certain point, but this is something else that we complained about Mattel not doing, is like, do something different. Much like the Young Justice Batman, they gave us a cape that drapes over the shoulders. And yes, I know for action poses it does kind of hinder a little bit and makes things a little wonky, but if you go with a nice vanilla pose and Batman's just standing there looking, you know, looming as it were. Looming, is that even a thing? Menacing, there we go. I think it works very, very well. And this is a nice rested position for Batman. This is all one piece, the neck, cowl, and cape, and I love the way this drapes over his shoulders and down past his arms. Yeah, it's going to make it a little rough trying to pose Batman and get into some action figure pose fights, and yeah, you can kind of move it out of the way, and it does get a little stiff, but just having a badassery Batman standing on your shelf, I think looks very, very cool. And plus with the cape, I just love the way that drapes off. And Mattel nails the Rebirth Batman design up and around the collar. I mean, Mattel could have cut out this little point here. That's an extra piece of molding that they have to do. And it's not a separate piece, but it's just one part of the mold that they've got to cut out. They could have chinsed it out and gone straight across the front like the Young Justice Batman. But this is how he looked. And this is how he looks in the comics. And the other thing that I like, normally, let's bring up Young Justice Batman. Now this one is etched in, so this one's going to make me a liar. So this one's kind of etched in. And damn it, this one's etched in. Come on, help me here. Normally, it's painted on. Painted on. Now the other figures that are downstairs, the oval Batman, the normal black Batman across the chest, I believe those are painted on as well. This is sculpted. So in some characters like a Superman or Batman, yes, they would sculpt the bat symbol up there. But somebody like Robin, Damian Wayne, just gets basically a sticker, something hand-painted, no raised portion at all. But on Batman, he gets a nice sculpted chest emblem. So you can see there, it does stand out pretty well. And I gotta tell you, I'm eating my words on this. When I first saw the Rebirth design and the new Bat logo, I was like, really? It looks like one of the Power Attack Batman logos with the yellow design. And of course, I don't have the Power Attack figure here. I really wanted to be able to show that. So I apologize if I happen to find it again before I edit the video. I'm just going to go with it. Pardon me, folks. But what I really like now, after being in Rebirth for almost 2 years, I really like the yellow accent around the bat. I think it adds a nice element to the callback of the yellow oval. It makes the bat stand out, and I miss seeing the bat in some type of a yellow. Now, supposedly that style of logo, what people call the '89 logo, is under copyright somehow, and they can't use that oval in comics. I don't know much about that, but I like this. I think this is really pretty cool. The other thing is that they gave Batman a two-toned cape, much like Tim Drake would have. Most everybody on the Bat team, Batwoman has a two-toned cape with red on the inside. Robin has a two-toned cape with black on the inside. Tim Drake's would be yellow, of course. Stephanie Brown has a two-toned cape on that Bat team. And it's just a nice little accent. It's not overly purple, and sometimes in the comics they kind of hide it a little bit. But I think it makes the figure and the character just stand out a little bit more. And I know Batman's supposed to be in the shadows, it's supposed to be black, and that purple and the yellow accents really kind of mess it up. I don't think that it does. I think it adds a nice little bit of character and a little bit of a callback to Batman did have purple in his 1939 comics. He had purple gloves on, so in Detective Comics 27, so I think it works. The other thing is the belt. The belt is completely brand new, sculpted. Some people didn't like the way that the belt kind of gives the appearance of a bat here, where some of the pouches come down a little bit in the front and go back up, but it's all sculpted, and the back is the same way. This is another spot where Mattel could have easily chinsed out and said, nobody's going to see the back of this figure. We're just going to do a standard belt. They could have done this belt and said, yep, there's your belt. But because this is a specific design to Batman and how his belt looks, those of us would probably cry foul. So they've got the belt design right, the color is wrong. Batman does not have a yellow belt anymore. It is all black with a yellow accent. And to some people were like, Batman's belt's supposed to be yellow. With taking away the trunks, so you have the yellow belt, they kind of get away with having the black belt to kind of replace the black trunks to break up the color in the figure rather than just the yellow belt standing out. So now the outer side of the pockets are yellow, and I think that's a really nice accent and a cool thing to do. So I know this video is going to be long, and my first video back I was pretty sure was going to be a little long. So let's get to the all-important, let's look at the articulation on this guy. I didn't get into the boots here, but the boots do have like sculpted tread as much as they could do. This is where the little numbering should be, rather than putting it in Damian's cape right in the middle. Horrible. I'm just getting ready to shoot this part of the review, even though this figure came out before this guy. Anyway, the articulation on Batman goes as follow. I would like to say standard head joint from DC Universe Classics. He does not look up at all. So no up or down, I think, is just in the way, but he does look left or right. It feels like there should be some head movement in here, but there's not. I'm going to raise the camera just a little bit so I can get a little more comfortable here. So left and right is basically all that it is. So that's a knock right there. Even the old Batman did have head joints. Arms are on the classic ball and socket, and of course this one, that's about as far as the arm is going to go. Would rotate around full 360 if he didn't have the cape. You could kind of maneuver the cape out of the way to get some more range of motion. And it's not that you can't or anything like that, but for me, this is a look that I like this Batman to be, so I'm fine with it. I love that cape. Single hinged elbow, so I know some people are saying, boo, we wanted double joints. No rotation in the gauntlet. There's a rotation in the hand. No pivot. He does turn at the waist. The belt does not get in the way. Has the ab crunch. So I know it looks kind of broken up here a little bit, but I don't mind it. I think it's cool. Classic DC Universe Classics T-jointed legs. Legs go forward and back. Single hinge knee. I like how the knee is hidden by the bat plate here. Hinge on the feet and no rotation anywhere else. So out of package, it didn't take much for me to get him to stand. I think he stood very, very easy. No accessories, no batarangs, which we probably should have got a batarang, but if you're going to hold back on batarangs and other accessories, if you've already been collecting this line, then we have a ton of them, so I can go into my parts box and give him a batarang or grapple gun or something. So that doesn't bother me so much. The only other piece that he came with is the right leg for Robot Batsuit Gordon. Bunny Batman. Yeah, I know, I don't like this version of Batman. Gordon did not need to be Batman to be able to relate to Batman. Boo. Anyway, it's a nicely made piece. Single bend at the knee. I won't be collecting it or connecting it because it's not something I feel that I have to have. So this will be a trade piece for maybe somebody out there. Hey, you have something I want? Now I have something you want. So, anyway, it's nicely made. It's well painted, well detailed. So, ODC That's Me had made had a theory, not a theory, but had said, I hope by doing the collect and connect figures, especially even if it's something smaller, that you're not taking away from tooling and time and money being spent on the primary figures just to make these. So, we've done some other comparisons. Even though I haven't filmed the full review of these other two figures, you already kind of saw one. Let's see the other Rebirth Bat Family / DC YOU figures right before Rebirth, but they retained their designs in the form of Damian and Batgirl. And here is the Rebirth Bat Family so far. Like I said, Robin, aka Damian, and Batgirl have retained their DC YOU costumes, so not much has changed from there. You can kind of see that Damian has removable knee pads. But I like these three figures. I think they look really good together. And I'm very happy to have all three of them so far of the current Rebirth Bat Family. I know we are getting Batwoman, and of course Batwing is in this wave. I would love to get Red Robin. There's going to be a Collect and Connect Clayface. So the only ones we're really missing from the team are Cassandra Cain and Red Robin. Maybe they'll get made later if this wave, if these lines of figures do very well. I gotta say, for the Batman figures specifically that we're looking at, and even these three, as Chapman Films would say, good job, Mattel. Mattel is definitely trying, and I feel that they are trying so much. Just with the figures that I have, out of these three, I am very, very pleased with these three figures. And more importantly, I am really glad I got Batman over the Reaper. I am sure I'm going to love the Reaper. This really makes me want to get the Reaper now. So he's going to fit very well like you saw him with other DC Universe Classics figures from the past. And then maybe you only have this particular version of Robin, Damian Wayne, so he would work very well with that Robin as well, and the heights are very, very much the same, even though he did not come with this sword. So, again, like I was quoting Chapman Films, I would say, good job, Mattel. I think this is a solid wave. I was not able to find this in my store. Like I had said, I picked it up off of Walmart online for the price that it should be. I did a site-to-store pickup, so don't pay for shipping. Don't be silly like that. Send it to the Walmart store of your choice, and you will get it for $21.96, I think, or something like that. The price that it is on the shelf tag. Hopefully, when they arrive there, that's where I hope I can get my Reaper. So today we've been taking a look at the DC Comics Multiverse by Mattel, and more importantly, we've been taking a look at the Rebirth Batman. Very, very good, Mattel. I think I'm going to repaint that belt, though. But if I don't, still very good. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off saying we will see you guys next time.